Hello my little bees, elbeetactical here. Today we're taking our MWS build to the next level. Here's the brand new guns modified lightweight bolt carrier for the Tokyo Marui MWS. It's CNC'd from aluminum, and not only is it lighter, it also adds that snappy recoil we love in gas blowback rifles. Now, to control the power output, I'm installing a FEDA valve. This lets me fine-tune the joule level for different fields and gas types. Perfect for staying under field limits, especially during warm weather. Let's crack it open and get that nozzle out. We start by removing the two top screws from the bolt carrier. These hold the nozzle guide in place. Careful though, there's a tiny spring underneath that loves to launch itself into orbit if you're not ready. Gently lift the back of the nozzle guide, pull the nozzle slightly forward and slide the guide out the front. With that out of the way, we now have access to the rear locking piece that holds the nozzle return spring setup. Pop that out and the entire nozzle comes free. On top of the nozzle there's a tiny screw that holds both the return spring and the stock valve in place. First remove the nozzle seal so everything slides out smoothly. Now it's time to install the FEDA adjustable valve. We're reusing the original spring. It works perfectly with this setup. Make sure to align the FEDA valve so the power adjustment indicator is visible through the window on the underside of the nozzle. This gives you external tuning without needing to open anything up later. Just be gentle, don't force it. Once aligned, reinstall the return spring, line up the locking hole and secure everything with the screw. Before moving on, I give the nozzle return spring a quick test just to make sure it's firmly locked in place. Then I carefully adjust the FEDA valve so the power indicator is visible in the window. If not, the valve won't function properly, so always double check the alignment before reassembly. Then pop the nozzle seal back on and we're ready to reassemble the bolt. Slide the entire nozzle assembly back into the bolt carrier. Use a small hex key, align the locking tabs for the spring guide. Then push the retaining piece back in to lock it all down. Now we bring the nozzle guide back in, pull the nozzle forward slightly so it can slide into place cleanly. Tighten the first screw. And now comes the real boss fight, that tiny spring. Of course, it jumps again, but this time it landed in my lap. Lucky. With a bit of screwdriver finesse and some patience, I finally get it seated. Lock it in with the second screw. And boom, the bolt carrier is done. Let's drop it in and test how it feels. This lightweight guns modified bolt carrier combined with the FEDA valve should give us both snap and control. Best of both worlds. I separate the upper from the lower and remove the buffer and recoil spring to make things easier. First I unscrew the trigger box from the lower. Next I press the mag release from the right side and rotate it out from the left. Then it's time for the selector switch. Set it between safe and semi, push it from the right, and while rotating it gently, you can slide it out smoothly. Now we punch out the pin just above the trigger, from left to right. Don't forget the trigger guard. Once that's off, we're ready to remove the trigger box. Place a roll pin punch just behind the trigger and carefully tap it out. And I mean really tap, this thing is tight. Just a word of warning, don't make the same mistake I did. Do not tap directly on the trigger. I did, and it snapped the tip clean off. Luckily, the trigger still functions. But I'll definitely be looking into a replacement. Got any recommendations? Drop it in the comments. Once the trigger box is finally out, I swap in the BAVTAC Titanium Z-Plate. Clean, lightweight and tougher than the original. Then it's reassemble time. Tap the trigger box back into place. Secure it with the rear screw, reinstall the mag release, the selector switch and the pin above the trigger. Finally, we reunite the upper and the lower. Give the bolt a few solid drags and we're locked and loaded. And with a few quick adjustments to the NPAS, we're right on target, sitting comfortably within field limits. But we're not done yet. Here's a little surprise to close out the video. This just arrived, a 5KU PDW stock that's definitely going on the build soon. Compact, sleek and perfect for that CQB profile I'm aiming for. So stay tuned, that install is coming up in one of the next upgrades. As always, thanks for watching, drop a comment, hit that like button and subscribe for more builds, gameplay and tactical mods. I'll be over and out.